Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well. Okay, let's do a recap of week 8 of the marathon training so far. Week 8 took place from the 3rd of July to the 9th of July, and we're still in the endurance / lactate threshold train block. So Monday was just a bit of rest, a bit of walking. I also did some strength exercises like squats and lunges, and some plyometrics like box jumps and like jumping lunges. Tuesday was doubles recovery day. It was actually 2 runs. So there was a 10 kilometer morning run, like AM run, and also like 6 kilometer PM run, so like an evening or night run. Yeah, feels kind of strange to do 2 recovery runs in a day, but I think it's much easier on the body because like you split it in 2, and it's much better than doing like a 16k recovery run, I guess, all at once. It was also a bit rain that day, but I went fairly okay since we're taking quite easy. The evening run was kind of sluggish. Yeah, it was kind of dark as well, so yeah, gotta get used to it, I guess. Wednesday was a 23k medium long run. I decided to go with roads runners again, so this time I had to do an evening run. What I did first was like I did a 9k solo first to the meeting place, and then I did like the 10ks with the roads runners. I had some good chats with some of the fellow runners there. Then I finished the last 4ks solo as well. It was quite pleasant weather that evening. It was kind of warm actually. It wasn't too cold, and the air was kind of still, I guess. Thursday was an 8k recovery. I just took it easy and ran on grass. I felt a bit sluggish because like it was done in the morning following the medium long run from the night before, and yeah, I'm still not really used to do like having those back-to-back kind of runs, I guess. Friday was an 18k run with 10 kilometers of lactate threshold pace in between. It consisted of like a 5k warm-up and then 10ks at LT pace and then 3ks cooldown. To be honest, I didn't feel that great that day. I think doing a medium long run at night on that Wednesday evening kind of affected my recovery and threw me off a bit, I guess, for the rest of the week. I was also in a rush in the morning as well. I had to run from my house to the station to catch a bus, and also like ran another kilometer at Sillian Park without like tracking my run at all. Yeah, the LT pace effort felt kind of weak, but I guess overall went okay. Saturday was a 10k recovery. I did my first 5ks at Rhodes Park Run, and then the last 5ks around like Bicentennial Park, the rest of the area, I guess. I tried to go slow during the park run, like at recovery pace, but it was kind of hard because park run kind of makes you go fast, I guess. It's kind of competitive. Yeah, so I didn't really go my recovery pace. It was more like something between recovery and aerobic run pace, which wasn't too bad, I guess. Sunday was a 32k long run, starting at my usual, you know, Cooks River Cycleway route and then going all the way to Sillian Park. But this time I extended the route at Sillian Park a bit more. So I did like the Rhodes Park Run loop, and I did the Rhodes foreshore going all the way to the end as well before going to Bennelong Bridge. So that way I don't have to go all the way to Parramatta. Yeah, it was quite cold and windy that day, but it warmed up quite nicely throughout the run, I guess. It also felt like my speed threes were a bit worn out that day. It was a bit beat up, I guess. I guess it's because I did the LT run on Friday, like 2 days before. My shoes usually feel a bit better and fresh when I have at least like more than 2 days in between runs. The speeds kind of just felt a bit bottomed out throughout the whole run. But yeah, other than that, the long run went okay. So yeah, that brings the total mileage to around 107 kilometers for that week. A bit less than before, but yeah, went okay, I guess. Let's quickly talk about running at night. Firstly, ever since I started this whole running thing in 2020, I pretty much only run in the mornings. This is what works for me based on my schedule and like my preferences, I guess. The only times I run at night, occasionally like with a mate or two, very rarely, I guess. And when I was training for the marathon last year, I had to do some doubles, so there's a few night runs as well. And more recently, I'm also doing a few doubles this year for this marathon training program as well, but only for recoveries, I think. Sometimes I also do the Roads Runners group runs on Wednesday evenings as well. So while I'm not really an evening or night runner, there's a few things I like to take into consideration when running at night, I guess. First thing is safety. I'm trying not to run alone. It's way less bad if you run with like someone else or with a group, I guess. But you know, sometimes you gotta run alone, so yeah, it can't be helped. In that case, make sure at least someone close to you knows where you're going or where you're running or where your running route is, I guess. Bring your phone with you in case of an emergency. Just try to bring your phone. Like I know like a lot of runners prefer not to carry their phones when running, but if you're running at night, make sure you carry your phone if you can, I guess. Like, yeah, have like a running belt or like put in your pockets or like, you know, put in your bag. Make sure it's like fully charged or somewhat high charge, I guess. Don't try new routes unless it's with a group, I guess. In terms of visibility, you need to make sure that you can see what's around you and also that others can see you as well. In that case, make sure you wear like a headlamp and maybe a tail light as well. If you want, you can also carry a separate torch just in case, like a longer distance flashlight. Make sure you wear like high visibility clothing as well, something that's kind of reflective. Make sure you stay alert and focused. It's harder to see at night, so there's gonna be like some heads, like, you know, cracks in the ground or like tree branches on the ground as well. There's gonna be like people or bikes like turning corners rapidly, so yeah, just make sure you stay alert and like focused. Also, don't wear earphones at night. Yeah, it makes it hard to hear people approaching or bikes approaching, I guess, and it's kind of hard to hear like cars and hazards and that kind of stuff. Also, definitely be careful if you're running at night while it's raining or thunderstorm, yeah, it's quite an unsafe combo. Better just skip it, do like treadmill, postpone the run or something, or do something else indoors, I guess. And make sure you stay hydrated in field as well throughout the run. You can always like carry an hydration vest, which could be handy because there's often like a storage compartment where you can put like your water, gel, snacks, and like your phone or your car keys in as well. Make sure you plan your routes as well, because some routes are closed or inaccessible at night. For example, if you guys know in Sydney Park, there's like the river walk that goes along Parramatta River between Newington and Silverwater Bridge. That part of the river walk is closed at night, or closed during sunset and then reopens at sunrise. So make sure you know your way around, make sure you know there's like detours and that kind of stuff. Also, some public amenities or facilities will be closed as well or inaccessible. For example, public toilets, car parks, and also public transport. During the nighttime, usually public transport is less frequent, so make sure like you plan your transport and your commute, I guess. And also what I found is it's harder to run at night at target paces, because when you run in the dark, like visibility is like poor or like much less, and you get like way less visual feedback as you run. Things appear to move faster across you, and that makes you feel like you're running faster than you actually are, but you probably aren't. So it's kind of hard to like actually gauge your effort at night, I guess. So for example, let's say you're doing a run at night where your target pace is like 5:30 minutes a kilometer. What I've experienced is, let's say I was trying to run at that pace, what I find is it feels and looks like I'm going faster than 5:30, but then when I check my watch, it says I'm doing like 5:45 to 6 minutes per kilometer. And then when I actually do the 5:30 minutes a kilometer pace, it just feels like way faster than it needs to be, or it just feels like much higher effort. I find that it's much harder to go at a certain pace, or like to accurately gauge your pace visually at least. It feels way more difficult than what it is during the day, I guess. Make sure you adjust your expectations and like run accordingly. Also, if you have like a run at night and then you have like a run the next day and you decide to do it in the morning, it might be a bit tiring. At least that's what I've experienced. Probably because I'm not used to it, I guess. I think if you consistently run in the mornings and you suddenly do night runs, it's gonna throw off your patterns and like your recovery, I guess. So yeah, make sure you adjust for that. So yeah, that's pretty much my experiences and like things I look out for before prepping for like a night run, I guess. I hope it helps. For those of you who run at night, make sure you stay safe and be careful out there as well. Other than that, thanks for watching and have a nice day.